My dentist/employer would not give me the day off. I was around 20 and working as a front desk clerk at a busy dental office. As a part of our benefit package we received free dental care from our office. I needed all 4 of my wisdom teeth out and saw this as a great time to do it because it would be free. I had the owner and top dentist in the practice perform the surgery, scheduled the surgery, and put in a request for the following day off. I was denied the time off by both our office manager and the dentist who would be performing the surgery. I brushed it off as meaning that this should be a very easy procedure. Cut to a month later and day off my surgery. We only use local anesthetic in our office, so the dentist shot me up with about 8 shots and started the procedure. It ended up taking 3 hours, 26 shots, the assistant told me after, and him cutting into my guns to finish the job. I was crying the whole time. He prescribes me 800 milligrams ibuprofen and leaves. I ask my boss, office manager, again if I can call in the next day, and she replies no, I need to be in the office. The pain was horrible. My face swelled to about 2 or 3 times its normal size and I couldn't eat anything. Next morning even more swollen, still crying in pain, I get up and put my scrubs on and go to work. Everyone there is asking why I'm not at home. I tell them I wasn't allowed the day off. I sat at that desk crying for 2 hours, and when patients asked if I was okay I'd tell them yes, it's just I had my teeth worked on here yesterday and I'm in some pain. Needless to say I was sent home with a stronger prescription and told to come back in 2 days. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Posted as a comment on another thread and someone redirected me here. My brother scratched every single one of the DVDs of my Harry Potter collector edition package. My mom didn't do shit and said I should have put it away where he couldn't reach it and that I had no right to say or do anything to him punishment wise because I was not his mother. He was 7 or 8, so he was old enough to know not to do that shit. Mind you, I had worked for over 3 months to save the money and exchange it to USD so I could pay for them plus shipping. So I said okay, if you're not making him face consequences then I will. My brother was supposed to be my mom's menopause. She went to the doctor when she stopped getting her period, happy as a clam, thinking she was finally done with that shit. Off he fucking comes. My parents already had a really busy life and more often than not I'd take care of my siblings while they worked. This meant that supervising homework was my responsibility. For a month I'd check that he did his homework, but never corrected anything, and let him deal with it. The school counselor called my mom and told her that my brother had had a steady decline in the quality of his homework and wanted to know if anything in his routine at home had changed. When she asked me, I said that every day I checked, but didn't correct anything because he wasn't my fucking child, so it wasn't my responsibility. All of a sudden he was all apologetic and my parents gave me the money to buy back my stuff since I refused to help him otherwise. Open the door. Oh hell no. This one happened today and I'm still chuckling. We had an active shooter test where we pretend it's the real thing and see how everybody responds. There are several steps we are supposed to follow, including locking the door to the office and ignoring any attempts to enter. One of my co-workers is an individual tagged to walk around with a clipboard during these tests and evaluate everyone. As soon as he walked out, we naturally locked the door and started playing the silent game. Now to add in the malicious compliance. He forgot his office keys on his desk. He tried to come back in and compile his notes before the test was officially over and couldn't open the door. Cue the next 10 minutes of him banging on the door, yelling, "Come on guys, this isn't funny. I forgot my keys. I know you can hear me." My other coworker and I were sitting in the corner with the biggest shit-eating grins, knowing full well he needed to get in. After the all clear was called, we finally took pity on him and opened the door. That wasn't funny guys, my hand hurts now. Don't open the windows. So my wife is always on the phone when we are driving home after work. It's not that she doesn't like me, but she can't answer any phone calls at work, so she uses her passenger time to call back people. When she is on the phone she hates having the windows open because she can't hear what the other person is saying due to wind howling. Yesterday was not a different day, only thing different, I had baked beans for lunch. So she is on the phone and I let go a silent one. Being a gentleman, I roll down the window a bit for fresh air to come in and the smell to go out. She glares at me, puts her sister on hold, and demands I close the fucking window. I obliged. Not did I just rolled up the window, I even locked her side so she couldn't roll hers down. Long story short, I'm typing this from the couch. Totally worth it. You are putting down too much salt on the walkways. Okay, I'll cut back. I work for an upscale hotel as a public attendant. One of my janitorial duties at this facade of an establishment is keeping walkways cleared and safe. We were experiencing freezing rain one night, so I ended up putting down about 350 pounds of sidewalk melt salt over an 8-hour time frame, which is a ridiculous amount for the length of walkways we have. They were still a Swiss cheese ice sheet, but were passable. When the facility manager came in the next day, he went ballistic on how much money we were spending on salt. The FM told the morning PA to cut back, which was relayed to me. So we cut back. I did a minimum amount of salt on the walkways at the start of my shift, which can be dangerous on the exterior tile to the front entrance. Also dangerous on the delivery stairs entrance, which most employees use. But I follow orders. When I went to the front desk, I had a note from HR to salt specific areas on the hour, every hour. Contradictory, but I'll follow these orders as well. A few hours into the shift, I hear HR slipped and nearly fell at the front entrance while leaving. HR wanted to know why I wasn't salting. I was. Just less than the day before, it was relayed that the FM had told us to cut back. HR said to disregard what the FM said, and if FM had a problem with it, to talk with HR. Apparently 2 employees slipped and fell that morning. One of them is pregnant. I now put down as much salt as I feel necessary, and I enjoy that it bothers the FM. Small victories. TLDR. Facility manager says I'm putting down too much sidewalk salt. Costs the company too much. I comply. Human resources slips and tells me to go hog wild with salt, and the facility manager can answer to HR about the matter. Not spicy enough. This malicious compliance happened a week or 2 ago at the Korean fried chicken place I cook at. Everyone ended up happy in the end. So it was around 6 PM. We were starting to get a dinner rush, and since it was a weekend, there would be a lot of people. I do loads of orders until I'm left with the last and newest ticket. The ticket was an order of thigh nuggets tossed in holy donkey sauce. Now, the holy donkey is our hottest sauce on the menu, and it's pretty spicy. It's composed of some type of chili and chungwu capsaicin sauce. Anyways, the cashier gives him the food and he goes to enjoy his delicious meal. He sits, takes a bite, and comes back. The customer approaches the cashier almost aggressively and says, "This shit ain't spicy, I want my money back." At this point I walk over and say something along the lines of, "Well, we can just remake that for you spicier if you'd like." The dude says sure. Me and my cashier coworker were both especially tired of rude and annoying customers that day. The cashier turns to me as the upset customer leaves and says, "Fuck that guy. He wants it spicy? We'll give him spicy." I went back to the kitchen and made him some new chicken. The only difference this time was that when I tossed it in the holy donkey sauce, I held a strong squirt of capsaicin for 2 to 3 seconds. Now this shit is spicy. Just smelling it had me coughing. Finally, I personally serve the fresh and insanely spicy chicken to the customer. I tell him, "Let me know what you think," as I try not to smirk. Me and the cashier watch as he goes to his table and takes a bite. He's really feeling it as his face turns a little bit red. It turns out that he actually really liked it and devoured it like a champ. He even gave us a thumbs up while he was eating it. So everyone was happy. He got his chicken and we had a little fun at work. All is well. Not a sound compliance. I work night shifts, so yesterday I went to bed around 6 PM after feeding the kids. When Wiffy got home, I had food waiting for her and do the dishes, and in return she keeps the kids fairly quiet for the next hour and a half before their bedtime, so I can sleep. I was woken by the pitter-patter of my daughter's tiny feet. She threw herself on top of my sleepy self in the biggest tiny bear hug she could manage and promptly left the room. As she left, wife stomped up to her and whispered sharply, "I told you not to wake your father." And I heard her tearfully reply, "But you told me not to make a peep and I didn't say anything." I got up early so I could tuck her in and don't mind being sleepy today for some technical correctness.